Let's take a look at an alternative way to approach the use of a hoop house. This one's a little smaller than the original one in the film. This one is 12 feet by 20. The original one is 15 by 30. The object here with this one was to get some grow boxes so my little lady didn't have to bend over so far to work on the garden. And by the way, if you can see these weeds, this is the ideal size. This is the size where you want to have weed control. They're easy to get rid of at that size. Okay, the object here was again to get raised bed and to do what the French intensive gardeners did in France back in 1800s. They used 2 feet of nothing but well-composted horse manure to grow in. These beds are full of nothing but horse manure. And we constructed them with 2x material that was heavy, and it adds additional cost. It almost doubled the cost of this building. But what cost is there beyond these boxes? The pipe going over the top and a few 2x4s, you can see that it's a very inexpensive way to construct something. And then of course we'll be putting the cover on it pretty quick. And the cover for this one's probably $120 today. This enables us to work at these without having to get down on the ground to reach things. They're easily reachable. Enough aisle way to get in and work, and maximum bed space. Alright, we're going to look at an inexpensive cloche. This is what the French intensive gardeners, one of their big secrets was, clear back even in the 1600s in growing early vegetables around France. They put a cover in over them. It was a glass bell. We have access to polycarbonate water bottles that we carefully cut the bottoms off from on a table saw, keeping the blade real short. And so we end up with these two pieces. This one is ideal in the spring as a cloche to put over plants on cool mornings or where there's a danger of frost. It also ventilates. We can put a rag in it if we're really concerned about the cold. We can also use this half to put over new seedlings. If we've had new seedlings put in the ground, we can press this down over them when it's been watered. It'll help hold the moisture and to get them to germinate as well as increasing the temperature. We can also cut these more in half like this, so we can end up with 2 larger usable pieces, one small to put over a smaller plant, one large to put over a little larger plant. So this gives us an inexpensive cloche. The cost of these was the gas to go haul and bring them here. These cloches or bottles were free. The water companies, they really don't recycle this, but there are some plastic recyclers that give them like $100 for a semi-load of these. So they gave them to us free, no cost. So they're pretty handy for this type of thing. Okay, these are newly planted peppers. We have cold spring mornings here in Colorado, like down in the 20s in the first week of June sometimes. So we've come up with a way to keep these from freezing and keep the wind off of them, even as transplants, while they're getting used to being hardened off. We can put a clay pot or even a plastic plot over these plants at night or for the first couple of days to protect them from the wind and too much direct sun. It stresses them. Just give them a chance to harden off a little bit before we leave them out in the full exposure. What we've tried to put into the book, in the videos and in the writing, is an attempt to show you the concepts that are used to keep your plants warm in the spring and the fall, to extend their life, to warm up even during the summer season if you're in a cool area, so that your hot weather crops like tomatoes, peppers, cucumbers, melons grow well. The idea is to be able to then think outside of the box, to look at the concepts, the precepts that are here, and then let your mind go. Be creative, imaginative, see what you can do with the ideas that are here and that we've presented.